Hi, welcome to the Pursuit of Truth. I know it's been a while since I've done one. That's because I haven't been well. I had this strange thing. Still don't know really what it was. Um, it affected my kidneys and liver, and I was having these hot fevers, chills, like with days apart. They just kept coming. Um, my kidneys and livers are out of range. I've had repeat blood tests. The kidneys are back in range now. Um, Still waiting for the liver because it takes a month before you can do it again. Hopefully that'll be okay. So yeah, so I haven't done one of these. There's been lots of things I wanted to talk about. Obviously, the big thing at the moment is the weather. The 40 degrees Celsius that they're expecting today or tomorrow. Although some of them are saying it will happen. I don't know. I don't trust meteorologists or organisations when they say will happen when it's a forecast. It's a guesswork of whether it will or not. I don't know whether they can be that certain. It just worries you when you say will, because then it seems like, well, they're going to make it happen rather than that not to be conspiratorial. um, but yeah, it does seem a bit of a hoo-ha, like considering that a lot of people in Britain, they go to the Mediterranean or Africa or India to experience hot weather like this. Other human beings around the world take this kind of weather all the time for a long time. The other thing is this idea of this is the first time ever. You know, the fear porn of this since COVID and Ukraine and this breaking news. I think it started with 9/11 probably, that trying to, whip up weeks of coverage and creating this fear where, yes, in the UK we're not used to this weather and our houses aren't built for it, and the organisations and buildings and their air conditioning isn't that great. And yeah, I see there's a danger there to old and young. I don't know what in Africa and in India and in Saudi Arabia and the Mediterranean, what do they do? Do their elderly and young children, what do they do in order to survive these heats they get? And the thing about the ever is it's about, isn't it 200 years of data that the UK has. I don't know what other countries, how long they have, and also about the accuracy. Things have changed. Are they still using mercury meters, or are they using digital? The way they capture the weather, where they capture the weather, how accurate a lot of those readings are 100 years ago, or maybe even today, whether they can be compared because of the different way that they're measured. So, but the fact is, this, how old is this planet? I don't know. That depends on who tells you, whether it's thousands of years or millions of years. You know, are you saying that we've never had this heat before? Well, you can't say that because you don't know. You haven't been alive that long. You don't have data to substantiate that. So yes, you can say it's the hottest recorded, which is what they should be. But they keep using this ever, and they're trying to create this fear into people of fearing nature, which, yes, I know there are aspects of it, but just the way that the wave these days of now, like they've weaponized weather. Like there was someone on Facebook that was showing the different ways they showed the weather in the 70s to today, where now it's like big red all over the place because, you know, even I've noticed the colours for 20 and 30 seem to have changed, where 20 now is more darker orange. I thought they used to be 30, but now like 20 is like the orangey color, and then the 30 is verging on red. And it's just like, I get it that they need to alert people to beware, because human beings don't always, well, because we're like sheep like these days, that we have to have someone tell us to do it. But just the fear aspect of it seems too much these days. And because the media, they love that, because they want to create this kind of story, and that's why they whip it up like they do with all these things these days. Try and create some kind of fear out of it, without. And the problem is with that is the truth tends to get lost. The truth of that. Wait a minute, you've only got 200 years data. It's probably not that reliable. Some of that, or comparable. And so, how do we know really what the temperatures were? And also, you've got thousands of years or millions of years where you don't have any data, so you can't tell whether there were these hot days or not, whether we survived these things. You know, after this, I'm sure we're going to survive it. I'm sure there's going to be a few deaths. There's a few deaths for everything, in kitchens, in walking across the road. Well, actually, probably more people are going to get killed by cars hitting them than they are going to at this temperature. And just the way that they're like interviewing people, you know, and they're not telling the truth in the sense that, wait a minute, you've experienced it. You went to, you know, Magaluf, or you went to Saudi, or you went to some Mediterranean, Italy, and you experienced these weathers, you know. And it's like, I've never experienced anything like this before. But yeah, it's just, yeah. Anyway, I thought I'd give my 2p on that. I know that there are dangers to it. I understand that, but just the way that they're creating the fear, it makes you worried that whether they're letting the truth slide a little bit. Take care, easy, God bless, and peace.